This is Delhi. Please stand by for our next program. This is All India Radio. In our national program of talks tonight, we bring you a panel discussion entitled In Service of Marathi, Maharashtra Granthottejak Sanstha. The panelists are Dr. G.B. Deglurkar, Distinguished Historian and Director, Maharashtra Granthottejak Sanstha, Dr. Avinash Chafekar, Joint Secretary, Maharashtra Granthottejak Sanstha, and Dr. Dilip Chavan, Professor, Swami Ramananda Tirtha Marathwada University, Nanded, who initiates and moderates the discussion.
Hello listeners, I welcome you all to our national program of English Talks. I am Dilip Chavan. Maharashtra Granthottejak Sanstha is the oldest literary institute in Pune. We have two very distinguished guests with us. We have Dr. Goraksh Deglurkar and Dr. Avinash Chafekar with us. Dr. Goraksh Deglurkar is the president of the Maharashtra Granthottejak Sanstha. He is a very distinguished historian. He had his PhD from the Savitribai Phule Pune University. For his doctoral thesis, he worked on the cultural history of Maharashtra. The Rashtrasant Tukdoji Maharaj Nagpur University awarded him with D.Litt. He joined the Department of Indian History, Culture and Archaeology at the Rashtrasant Tukdoji Maharaj Nagpur University, Nagpur, and also the Deccan College, which is a deemed university now based in Pune. And he has written over 25 books in English and Marathi. He was involved in the excavating at various places in Maharashtra. Dr. Avinash Chafekar, he is presently working as the Joint Secretary of the Maharashtra Granthottejak Sanstha. He is a poet, author, journalist, professor, lawyer, and most importantly, a researcher. He has been associated with the Maharashtra Granthottejak Sanstha for quite a long time. He received many national and international awards. Recently, he has received the Mama Saheb Dandekar Award on his book on the Bhagavad Gita. The Maharashtra Granthottejak Sanstha, very important, very renowned institute based in Pune, was established more than 125 years ago. So, let us know more about this Sanstha from these scholars. I have a question for Dr. Goraksh Deglurkar. Can you please tell us about the Maharashtra Granthottejak Sanstha? We would like to know when was it established, who were the founders, and what made the founders establish this Sanstha?
This Sanstha has been established in 1894 because 19th century was a particular century in the history of Maharashtra. In a way, it was a sort of renaissance. In those days, people were thinking of nationalism, patriotism, and the language that was to be popular, which was Marathi, of course, as far as Maharashtra is concerned. So it was a need of the period to look into the spread of Marathi, to popularize it. This was in a way offshoot of Deccan Vernacular Society, which was established by the British government at Bombay, but after some years it became defunct. Obviously, Ranade took this opportunity to bring that institute in Pune. So Ranade was the person who initiated the shifting of this institute from Mumbai to Pune, and the purpose of this institution was in a way a social reforms. And for this purpose, he collected and he requested many of the stalwarts in Pune, like Lokmanya Bal GangadharTilak, Bhanu, novelist Apte, and so many other persons to help him to establish this institute. And probably this was the work, this was the aim of the institute, to think of the spreading of this language, popularizing this language, that is Marathi. In those days, people were, almost all learned people, educated people, were thinking of English. They used to speak in English. In fact, historian Rajwade once told that he was dreaming also in English, and he disliked this thing, and he thought that he should not, he should keep aside English speaking, writing, everything, and started working in Marathi just to popularize this and just to give a higher status to the mother tongue of many people in Maharashtra.
Yes, during the colonial period, it was really difficult for the Marathi writers to write in Marathi, and this Sanstha really played a very significant role by encouraging the Marathi writers to write in Marathi. And this Sanstha has been working for more than 124 years. We would like to know from Dr. Avinash Safekar about the history of this Sanstha.
The Sanstha actually got off to a good start. It published 9 volumes of Peshwa diaries. Justice Ranade wrote an introduction common to all volumes. Justice Ranade and alienation officer Rao Bahadur Wad, they tried their best to bring historical papers from the British government. They succeeded in their efforts and got 50,000 papers from government. They selected only 5,000 papers from those 50,000 papers, edited them and published in the form of 9 volumes, and 10th volume is Justice Ranade's introduction. Then the second notable work was a list of Marathi books published between 1825 and 1925. In Marathi, it is called Suchi. This Suchi was then handed over to Dr. Koshakar Ketkar on his request to use it in encyclopedia prepared by Dr. Ketkar. Then in 1974, Sanstha published a book written by S.G. Tulpule entitled Marathi Granthonirmitichi Vatchal. It is a very good reference book. Next, during 80s, Sanstha had prepared 6-year Marathi syllabus, which was approved by the state government.
Thank you, Dr. Avinash Safekar. So, we now move to Dr. Deglurkar. Dr. Safekar already made a mention of Justice M.G. Ranade. M.G. Ranade was one of the founding members of this Sanstha. So, can you please tell us more about Ranade?
Justice Ranade was born on 18th January 1842. He died, unfortunately, on 16th of January 1901. Within this short life of 50-55 years, he worked a lot. Basically, he was a social reformer.
Yes.
But to encourage people in moving themselves along with the activities that was done by Ranade or undertaken by Ranade, he established some institutions. And this work of Ranade is much more important than the life of himself, I should say.
Right.
What he did, first of all, he established Prarthana Samaj along with Dr. R.G. Bhandarkar. Then he helped in working, in functioning of Sarvajanik Sabha. It's okay that Deshmukh was the person who was behind the establishment of the Sarvajanik Sabha, but in fact the de facto worker, de facto mover of this Sarvajanik Sabha was Justice Ranade. He also has been instrumental to establish this Sanstha about which we are now discussing.
Yes.
That is Maharashtra Granthottejak Sanstha. as I said earlier, it was established in 1894. He also has participated and one of the important members of the National Congress, which was established by a Britisher by name Dr. Hume. Another role of Dr. Ranade was the working of Vedashastrodtajak Sabha. Along with the social reforms which were a dire need of that age, he also wanted people to think about, to know about our culture. And the basis of that culture depends on the Vedas, Upanishads, etc. Obviously, he thought of this and established Vedashastrodtajak Sabha. Then along with that, there was another Sabha that was established that is known as Vaktrutyojak Sabha, the offshoot of which is Vasant Vakyanmala, which is very popular and it is still going on. And then he started to move people to collect the antiquities. And for these collections, he had been instrumental to establish a museum, which was earlier known as Ray Museum. Now it is known as Phule Museum. So on so many fronts, he was the person to make people move, to make people aware of their culture, their language, and so on. So I think that this versatile genius that has been in sort of prize medal that was given by the destiny to Maharashtra.
Yes, true. Ranade played a pivotal role in establishing various institutes, libraries, educational societies, and also, of course, the Maharashtra Granthottejak Sanstha.
We can label him actually Renaissance man.
Yeah, the man of Renaissance. So, Maharashtra Granthottejak Sanstha has been trying to encourage publication of books in Marathi. Marathi is a major language in India, also in the world. So we would like to know from Dr. Avinash Safekar as to how the Sanstha tried to achieve this goal of encouraging writing and publication in Marathi.
Yes, good question. Today, thousands of books are published in Marathi every year. But this was not the thing 100 years ago. Therefore, encouragement in some form was necessary. At this crucial point of time, Maharashtra Granthottejak Sanstha came forward to encourage publication of Marathi books.
Yes.
Sanstha has been felicitating Marathi writers for their good literary work after critical evaluation by the experts in that field. Many well-known Marathi writers had received honor from Granthottejak. For example, N.C. Kelkar, S.M. Mate, N.V. Gadgil, V.K. Rajwade, and among contemporary writers, Dr. Jagannath Patil, Dr. Arun Shinde, and Mrs. Girija Kir.
Now Marathi is a very significant language and several writers contributed to the development of Marathi, and this Sanstha contributed to the development of Marathi by encouraging the writers to write in Marathi. But the Sanstha also has played a very significant role by preserving many rare books and documents. So preservation of books is taken as an extremely important task in any civilized society. However, there aren't many libraries that have really recognized the value of preservation of rare books and documents. But the Maharashtra Granthottejak Sanstha has preserved hundreds of the rarest documents and books.
The Sanstha is having approximately 7,000 books, and for the last 90 years or more, the books were preserved by keeping them in closed, dust-free
Yes,
cupboards.
yeah, dust
Dust-free
free cupboards are
cupboards.
necessary.
I think all these books are very ancient books, which are very rare nowadays.
Rare
And
books
these
are
these can be taken as reference books nowadays
books.
because of
And
their.
therefore we do not give them for home reading.
Yeah, you don't allow others to take
Readers
books.
can come to the Sanstha and read
Yeah,
them.
they are not lent.
Ah.
Yeah.
But during this modern technological period, we have started digitization of all the
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
all the books and manuscripts.
Yes.
Almost more than 3,000 books have been already digitized, and the work is
Going on.
going on.
Yeah.
Some 30 to 40 years back, the Sanstha has laminated the manuscripts.
Yes.
But now it is said that lamination is also useless.
Yeah.
After some years, it breaks down.
It breaks. Yeah.
So digitization is the only
The best way. Yes, it's good that the Sanstha has realized the importance of digital preservation. We are already into the age of information technology, and by using the information technology, we can preserve our materials, but also we can make whatever that we have available to the wider society. That way we can really help people grow intellectually. As I learned, this Sanstha has also undertaken a new project, and that is about the tribal languages. So we have many tribes living in Maharashtra, and there are many languages used by many tribal groups. So we have now realized the importance of preserving and encouraging these languages. So can you please tell us more about this new project?
There are 400 tribal spoken languages in India.
Yes.
And out of them, 65 spoken tribal languages are in Maharashtra.
Maharashtra.
Most of these languages are getting vanished.
Yes.
And richness of any language depends upon its culture. From that point of view, we will try to preserve those languages by modern methods like audio-visual recording. We will record their interviews, their songs and dances.
Yes.
That amounts to actually preserving culture.
Yes. Yeah, there is a lot of work that can be done in this field, and I'm sure that this Sanstha, which has a long history, will certainly contribute to the preservation of these languages in Maharashtra.
And I think that this also would be instrumental for the enrichment of Marathi, because many words which are in Marathi nowadays are from
Various
these
regional
languages.
dialects.
So, and many would be with
yes.
your efforts and endeavor. Many words also would be included in Marathi.
Yes.
Language Marathi nowadays has become a sort of hybrid language. Many words of Urdu words, Farsi words, English words are there. To, in a way, purify Marathi, first of all, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj has done something. Shabdakosh, he had but asked his people to prepare. Later on, Veer Savarkar, Barrister Savarkar, he also worked on these lines, so that you may use other words in Marathi, no doubt, but you should also know the Marathi word for that.
Yes.
For instance,
Marathi words.
original Marathi words you should know.
Yeah, I understand. There's a lot of work that needs to be done, and Marathi is such an important language, and we have borrowed a lot from these tribal languages, and there has always been some kind of interaction between languages. So let us see that how the Sanstha, does very significant work in this field. So we would like to know from Dr. Safekar about the future plans of the Sanstha.
The Sanstha has got 10,000 square feet land from the state government.
It's great.
But there are many technical, legal and financial problems. And so we could not
Construct.
develop it.
Yeah, you could not construct a building, yeah.
But it is the need of the hour for the Sanstha that we should have a larger space. We are having, as I have said, more than 7,000 books and the number is increasing
Yes.
day by day.
Yeah.
So we need larger space. We are having 3-4 staff only. And considering these new projects,
Yes.
we need full-time office and full-time staff, which is not the thing today.
Yes. Yeah, looking at
So-
the amount of work you plan to do, you need larger space and more people to help you. Yes, true.
Government also should be helpful to this Sanstha or Sansthas like that who are trying to better Marathi, who are trying to enriching Marathi. Because I am told that government is trying to get the sanction from the central government to make this Marathi language as Abhijat Marathi.
Yes.
So for that, government should also help Sansthas like this one, which are trying their best to enrich Marathi
Yes.
by this way or that.
True. Yeah.
I think that the work of Sanstha like this would help government to get the sanction Abhijat
Yeah.
Marathi from Government of India.
Yeah, enriching Marathi is one of the primary duties of the government of Maharashtra as well as the government of India.
Right.
It is a listed language. It is mentioned
Right.
in the 8th schedule of
Constitution,
the
yeah.
Constitution of
Yeah.
India.
We have already started a project to enrich Marathi, that is Kosha of Koshas.
Yeah, you mentioned.
The Sanstha is working on a different type of course. The idea behind this is, suppose you are studying a topic in geography and you need to know meaning of some concepts in geography or some information about a particular natural happening. And you may not be knowing whether a course of geography exists and is available in a particular library. Then you turn to our kosha, it will provide you with this information. We are giving gist of different Marathi koshas and the name of the library where you find that kosha. As of now, writing of 270 koshas has been completed.
Finished.
Kosha,
Finished.
do you mean encyclopedia?
Yes.
Encyclopedia.
Yes. Yeah, this is going to be a major project, and I hope we use information technology here also so that one can make use of the internet to know more about the sources on various
Right.
ideas.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
But what I feel is Marathi is a language which is losing fast. Much of the knowledge now is available in English, and we have a challenge before us how to really enrich this language. So I would like to know from Dr. Deglurkar, who is the president of this Sanstha, what role the Maharashtra Granthottejak Sanstha can play in the development of Marathi as a language of knowledge ahead. So how are you going to lead this Sanstha to see that the Sanstha becomes a significant Sanstha in the development of Marathi?
This is Maharashtra Granthottejak Sanstha of its own. May not be very active on its own at the moment.
Yes.
Because there is dearth of funding, there is dearth of manpower.
Yes.
I would like to suggest that government of Maharashtra should encourage this Maharashtra Granthottejak Sanstha to help getting translations from English and other foreign languages
Yes.
in Marathi.
Mm.
Though that may be useful for medical line or engineering
Yes.
or technology,
Yeah.
etc. I would like to cite one example which was in vogue some 50 years back or 60 years back. A government of Hyderabad had one different section
Yes.
of translators.
Oh.
It was in Usmania University, working in Usmania University. When I was doing my post-graduation, I used to see people working on these things.
Oh.
All technical subjects have been translated in Urdu.
Yes.
And you will be wonderstruck to know that even MBBS students were to study their work in Urdu. So books were available. They were made available to these people, these students. And I know some of the batches of MBBS students who studied entire course in Urdu.
Oh, through Urdu medium, yeah.
And another thing is, I had been to Telugu University,
Yes,
Tamil University. These universities are established for the sake of spreading of their own language.
yes, Tamil I
All
know.
subjects had, yes, at
Yeah, you
Tanjavur I
can
had
you
been
can
there.
do your medical degree through Tamil.
At Hyderabad
Yes.
I had been there, where working in Telugu and in Tanjavur University in Tamil. So why not there should be a Marathi university
Yes,
teaching all subjects in Marathi, including medical
Yes,
and
yeah.
engineering and technology and all these things. So government should be very serious about this thing, I think. in
yes.
Marathi.
I think this Sanstha has a significant role to play because earlier it was known as the Deccan Vernacular Translation
yeah.
Society. So now we have realized the importance of translation. So the Sanstha had something to do with translation, and now we need to use translation as a technique for dissemination of knowledge through Indian languages such as Marathi. So I hope we have a bright future and the Sanstha can do a lot of work in the days to come. I am thankful to both the guests. We had Dr. Deglurkar and Dr. Chafekar with us. So I am very much thankful to you, sir, for informing us about the Maharashtra Granthottejak Sanstha. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
In our national program of talks tonight, you just heard a panel discussion entitled In Service of Marathi, Maharashtra Granthottejak Sanstha. The panelists were Dr. G.B. Deglurkar, Distinguished Historian and Director, Maharashtra Granthottejak Sanstha, Dr. Avinash Chafekar, Joint Secretary, Maharashtra Granthottejak Sanstha, and Dr. Dilip Chavan, Professor, Swami Ramananda Tirtha Marathwada University, Nanded, who initiated and moderated the discussion. Conceptualized by Naveen K. Gupta of AIR Delhi, with assistance in production by Gaurav Shimpi of AIR Pune, this program was produced and presented by Tejashri Kamble of AIR Pune and came to you from the Delhi station of All India Radio.